Variety, Huffington Post, and a number of other sources had stated that Neve Campbell is open to returning to the franchise under the right circumstances. Now, here on Huffington, it says she reveals what it would take for her to return to the franchise. This was by Jasmine Tolliver. If you had your fingers crossed that Neve Campbell would return to the Scream franchise, there might still be hope. The seventh film is in the works, but it has hit numerous roadblocks, including losing its director, Christopher Landon, last month. The leading ladies in Scream 6, Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, are also no longer part of the upcoming film. Melissa Barrera was fired from the movie over her tweets expressing support for Palestine amid the Israel-Hamas conflict, while Jenna Ortega withdrew from the horror movie due to her Netflix Wednesday Season 2 shooting schedule. Now, before I continue that, I've discussed that in another video, and I said I've heard 3 different stories, and there's still some speculation about it. We don't know, and of course, we don't know any of them personally, so they're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell the public and the fans, so they kind of, I'm sure there's legality to that, so that, contracts and be silent and all that type of stuff. But the other 2 reasons, possible reasons why she quit the franchise is A, because Melissa was fired, and me personally and a lot of other people would agree that I still think that that's the primary reason why she quit. I think that's the primary reason. And then there was another one that came out a couple weeks after that. It was a week or 2 after that that said it was a salary dispute. I personally don't believe that. Now, again, you can believe whatever you want. It's all, again, this is all just open to interpretation. It's all just speculation and theory. But I would think that considering what happened with Neve, it wouldn't make any sense for anybody else in there to try to dispute a salary when she's like, hey, I'm the original. Look what they did to me here. I've been the protagonist since the first movie in 1996. So I don't believe that one. Now, I'm not going to say that I completely don't believe the whole scheduling thing, because that does happen sometimes with a number of people who do movies and shows. I mean, it just kind of depends. You have some people that do multiple movies and multiple shows at once. Martin Lawrence did that in the 90s, and a few other people did that. Eddie Murphy, whoever. But I still think that reason number 1 is Melissa was fired. And I think that the Wednesday Season 2 thing, I think that's kind of a reason, but that's just the only one that they're going to throw at us right now. But after Neve Campbell previously stepped away from the long-running franchise over a salary dispute after appearing in the first 5 films, the actor recently revealed that she isn't totally opposed to rejoining the slasher legacy. Here's what she said while speaking at IndieWire at Saturday's BAFTAT event in Los Angeles. It's sad to me that they're struggling at the moment. I would imagine that the people at the top are spinning a little bit trying to make the right decision. I think I would imagine people want to do the right thing. Neve Campbell, who was supposed to reprise her role as Sidney Prescott in the 6th film, added, I would hope. I love this franchise. I love it for Wes Craven. I love it for all the people who've been involved, and even the newer cast. I would hope it doesn't fall apart. Agreed. When asked if she would star in another Scream film, she said she's open to it, given the right circumstances. She said, I made a statement several years ago, and it was the reason that I didn't do the film at the time, and I just really felt the need to stand up and say that I don't believe I would have been treated that way had I been a man carrying a franchise for 25 years, and that still stands. So, if they were to choose to come back to me, that would continue to be my takeaway. We'll see. Now, let's be honest. Now, we know that they know if she's coming back. And there's also been some speculation about, are they going to try to reach out to Melissa to try to bring her back? But I'll save that one for another video. But I think that they know if she's going to be in the next film. I think that she knows if she's going to be in the next film. But hey, that's part of the suspense. That's part of the guess. You just keep us waiting and keep us guessing. That's all part of the fun. Now, here comes the main question. Can Neve Campbell save the franchise? There are some people who say, hey, they could continue doing Scream without her because it's a horror film and people get killed in horror films all the time. Nancy Thompson died in the 3rd Freddy movie. Alice Hardy died in the 2nd Jason movie, I believe that was. It could have been the 3rd. Can't remember off top. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. Laurie Strode died in Halloween. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's been other final girls and final characters who have been, killed in other horror film series and franchises and whatnot. I've already said this before. I think the number one best move that Spyglass could make, regardless of who their director is. Now, it could be Radio Silence, it could be Christopher Landon, it could be anybody else. Regardless of the director, the very best thing that they could do to guarantee a real win for Scream 7 is they would have to bring back pretty much all of them, all of the characters who are still alive. They would have to have Sidney, Gail, Sam, Tara, Mindy, Chad, Kirby, bring back Danny, assuming that, he's still dating Sam, and a few others. I think that would, I don't know how many of you would agree with me on this. If they did that, especially considering what happened to Melissa and Jenna in the last couple months, there's a part of me that thinks that the seventh movie could actually gross more than the sixth movie, and it's actually questionable if it could even top more than the first movie. Now, the sixth movie was $169 million. The first three movies were 173, 172, and 161, respectively. Now, is that possible, or is the first film, still going to be at the top just because it is the original? I don't know. Just give me your thoughts, but I found this to be pretty interesting. And they're saying on here, and according to Variety, that Scream 7 is supposed to be released either later this year or early 2025. I'm guessing with all that's happened recently, it's probably not going to be till 2025. So let's not get our hopes up too much now. And if it does come out this year, great. We have to wait less. But either way, like and subscribe. I got more to talk about.